Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to look at mixed and entire radicals. So root 20 here, that's an example of an entire radical. And then 2 root 5 is an example of what we call a mixed radical. And sometimes you're giving entire radicals and they say simplify. What that means is to rewrite it as a mixed radical. So let's look at some properties that we're going to use in today's lesson. So the nth root of a can be written as a to the 1 over n, like that, where n is a positive integer. So let's have a and b greater or equal to 0. If we do nth root of a to the n, this is the same as a to the n to the 1 over n. From our exponent rules, remember we multiply, which gives n over n. This reduces to 1, which reduces to a, like that. So in other words, nth root of a to the n, these cancel, and what's left is a, like that. Next, nth root of a times b, we can rewrite that as a times b to the 1 over n. We distribute like that, and then we can rewrite it as nth root of a times nth root of b. So in other words, we can go nth root of a times nth root of b, like that. Okay, so here we have nth root of a over b. So this is a over b to the 1 over n. We distribute the exponent like that from our exponent rules, and then a to the 1 over n is nth root of a, and this is nth root of b, where of course b is non-zero. So we're going to be using these properties in today's lesson. And in this lesson, all variables represent positive numbers. Okay, example 1, simplify. Root 20. So root 20 can be written as root 4 times 5. Root 4, root 5. Root 4 is 2, so 2 root 5, like that. So we simplified root 20 to be 2 root 5. Root 40. Root 40 is root 4 times 10. Root 4, root 10. 2 root 10, like that. C. Root 72. 72 is 36 times 2. Root 36, root 2, which gives 6 root 2, like that. D, cube root of 8. So we can rewrite 8 as 2 to the 3. Cube root and cube annihilate, and what's left is 2, like that. All right, and so just so you see the annihilation, the steps are 2 to the 3 to the 1/3. We multiply the top, so 2 to the 3 over 3, which is 2 to the 1, which is 2. All right, so this is a cube root of 2 to the 3, and it just shows you the steps why cancel leaves 2, like that. Okay, E, 4th root of x to the 8. So we rewrite it as x to the 8 to the 1 over 4. We multiply, so 8 over 4, which gives 2. So this simplifies to x squared, like that. Okay, F, square root of x to the 6 over y to the 4. So we distribute the square root, top and bottom, like that. We're going to rewrite square root as to the half for both of them. We're going to multiply, so 6 times a half, like that, and 4 times a half, like that, which reduces to x to the 3 divided by y squared, like that. Okay, G, cube root of this. So we're going to distribute the cube root to 16, x3, and y9, like that. We're going to rewrite it as 16 as 8 times 2. Rewrite cube root as to the power of 1 over 3 for both. Cube root of 8 is 2. Cube root of 2 remains. Multiply gives x to the 3 over 3. Multiply gives y to the 9 over 3, like that. 2 stays the same. Cube root of 2 stays the same. This reduces to x, and this reduces to y cubed. And you can rewrite this as 2xy cube root of 2. And ask your teacher if there's a preference in the ordering of the terms that they would prefer. Okay, so time for some practice. Simplify. A to h. Go ahead and pause the video and answer that. Okay, we're back. So A, root 45, 9 times 5, root 9, root 5, 3 root 5, like that. B, root 120, 12 times 10, root 4 times 3 times 2 times 5, like that. So we can go root 5. We can't do root of anything else, so it's 2 root 30 as such. C, root 80, 8 times 10. 8 is 4 times 2, 10 is 2 times 5. So here we have root 16 times root 5, which gives 4 root 5 like that. D, cube root of 27. 27 is 3 cubed. Cube root and cube cancel out. What's left is 3. E, fifth root of x to the 10. We rewrite that as to the 1 over 5. Multiply 10 over 5 like that, which reduces to x squared. Okay, F, cube root of x to the 6 over 8. Distribute the cube root like that. X to the 6 to the 1 over 3. Cube root of 2 to the 3. This cancels to be 2. X to the 6 over 3, right? We multiply that, and so that gives x squared over 2. Okay, G, 60x4y10. We're going to distribute the square root to all three. We're going to rewrite 60 as 6 times 10, which can be rewritten as 2 times 3, 2 times 5. So here we have root 4 times root 15, and the root 4 reduces to 2 like that. x4 to the 1 over 2, y10 to the 1 over 2, multiply 4 over 2 like that, multiply 10 over 2 like that. This gives x squared, this gives y5, and that's our final answer. H, root 24x to the 100. So this is root 24 root x to the 100. This is root 4 times 6. So then root 4 root 6 like that, which gives 2. So 2 root 6. X to the 100 to the half, multiply. So x to the 100 over 2, which gives x to the 50. Okay, example 2. Write each expression as an entire radical. And so we're going to use this trick. What we can do is we have x, and what we're going to do is square it and square root it. And so these cancel out, right? Square and square root cancels out, so we haven't changed anything. So we're going to rewrite things differently. So 7, you could have 7 cubed to the cube root, right? So 7 cubed to the 1/3, right? These cancel out to give 7. So here's an example here. So 2 root 5. We want a square root. So we're going to go square root on our 2, which gives root 4 root 5. And then we're going to put them together to be root 4 times 5, which is root 20, like that. So 2 root 5 is the same as root 20. This is an entire radical, and this is a mixed radical. Okay, I'm going to do lots of examples. B, 6 root 3. We want square root, so 6 squared square root like that. Root 36 times root 3. Root 36 times 3, root 108 like that. C, this is a cube root of 3, so we want 2 to have a cube root so that we can simplify together. So we're going to go cube root like that, right? This cancels to be 2. We didn't change anything. We just wrote it differently. And then this becomes cube root of 8 times 3, which is cube root of 24. D, we're looking for square root, so we do 2x squared square root like that, 4x squared like that times y, so that is our answer. Okay, E, so we notice we have a square root, so we're going to square root x over y like that. This becomes x squared over y squared. Multiply them together, so we get x squared times x squared divided by y squared times 2y like that. This gives x to the 4 divided by 2y cubed like that, and the entire thing is square rooted. F, 6x cube root x squared, so we want a cube root here, so we're going to go cube root. Distribute the cube, so 6 cubed x cubed times x squared like that. And this gives 216 times x to the 5 like that, and all of that cube rooted. Okay, time for some practice. Practice number 2, write each expression as an entire radical, A to G. Go ahead and pause the video and answer that. Okay, we're back. A, 3 root 5, so 3 squared root like that. Root 9 root 5 gives root 45. Square root of 3, so we want 7 squared, square rooted like that. Root 49 times root 3, which gives root 49 times 3, which gives root 147. C, 3 cube root of root 7, so we're going to cube root it like that. Root 27 times 7, which gives root 189. D, we have a square root, so we're going to go square root like that. Distribute the square, so 16x4. And then now we multiply together, and so we get 16x4y3 like that. E, we have a square root of x, so we're going to square root like that. This gives 49x squared. X squared times x cubed, so root 49x cubed is our entire radical. F, square root, so we're going to go square root to 2 over y like that. This becomes 4 over y squared. 4 times 3, 12. X times y squared, xy squared like that. The whole thing square rooted. G, here we have square root, so we're going to go square root on the top as well as the bottom. This gives z to the 4 and z to the 3 remains. 5 squared, 25 times 2. This gives z to the 7 over 50 like that, and so we can square root the whole thing as such. And that's it. It's that easy. I'll see you guys in the next video.